So we're just after seeing how to get serial imported, and we're back on track. Now, the next thing we want to do is just have a quick look here at what we're going to do. So, in the previous tutorial, the serial module was installed, and the serial module with the small s contains a class name with a capital S. So just going to minimize that for a second. A class name serial with a capital S. Now, don't ask me why this was done, but somebody just happened to name a module in the serial library with a capital S and small s. So look, it's a bit like father and son having the same names or something. It belongs to it. But the thing about this serial class is that, well, it's invoked using the dot notation syntax, but this contains a load of properties that is going to allow us to talk to the microbit. Things like the speed of communication, the port name that the USB is connecting to, because we need to know how the data is coming in. And basically, the serial class, it acts as like a blueprint of how we can talk to and work with the microbit. So let's get on to what we need to do and stop talking about behind the scenes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to access this serial class, and I'm going to make this really easy for us. I'm going to store it in a variable called sir for short. So this is going to allow us target the serial class and store in a variable. So when I do this, I'm going to say sir is my variable, and here is my initial library. I'm saying, right, in there, in a room somewhere in there, we want to target this serial class. So again, testing purposes, let's run it, make sure it's all running. Great stuff. Now, all of this stuff here now is now contained in this variable, our file handler, if you like, called sir. So let's set some of the properties that we want to do. So what properties do we want? Well, we want things like the baud rate. We want to be able to actually open a new serial port connection. We want to be able to target the port. So your keyboard and your mouse are usually communications ports 1 and 2, and they're usually reserved ports on the computer. The microbit could be COM port 7, it could be COM port 17. We're going to have to investigate how to find some of that stuff. So what we need to do first of all is set the baud rate. So we're simply going to say sir.baud rate is equal to 115,200, and this is, I put a comment in here to get the two devices on the same speed, and we do this using the baud rate property. Okay, so we just go sir.baud rate equals 115,200. Let's run it, because that's the speed that the microbit transmits at. Now the computer is able to talk to it because it will be able to get on the same kind of speed there. So the next thing we want to do is, I think it's maybe, oh yes, and we want to find the COM port here. Now this could prove a little troublesome, so I just want to jump out here and go to my command prompt and just see if I can use mode, and mode will list all COM ports that I'm using at the moment, or maybe it won't. I thought it may. Oh, status for device COM8. Great. So it looks like that the microbit is transmitting at COM8, and I just typed in the keyword mode there to find that. So this time I'm going to say, and let's go back to my notes for what I've got done in this. So sir.port is equal to COM8. Now don't panic if you have a different port there. So set the COM port, or not set, kind of find the COM port, find COM port, and set it in Python. That's so sir.port is equal to communications port 8. and I could use double quotes there. It doesn't really matter. And then what we need to do is actually open our connection. So sir.open. So Windows asking permission to open the serial port. We'll put in the comment there for Windows asking for permission to open the serial port. So to get the kind of channel running. So sir.open. And again, let's just run that. Make sure we're all good. And it's all running so far, so brilliant. We've got it all kind of talking to each other now. Now it's time to take in the data. So see you in the next video for that.